So it's been a little over a year since the launch of Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. For many people, especially me, this had been the phone of the year, and for many good reasons. Taking a look at this phone after a year and months of phone releases, I begin to appreciate this phone more than I already did. Though it's been a year and 8 months and phones moving to bezel-less displays, pop-up cameras and some sorts of cutouts, the S9 Plus is still a beautiful phone without any of those things. It has 84.2% screen to body ratio, which is still pretty good. But those extra millimeters make a noticeable difference. But it's still not a big deal considering the work, looks and premiumness of this phone. Especially if you take in consideration things like its materials like the aluminum frame, front and back glass and the curved display, those millimeters do not matter. Samsung used to maintain the reputation of their phones not lasting long enough, as some of the other problem would occur in the phones, like battery issues or the phone lagging or phone slowing down. But with time, they have made their phones better and better in every aspect. This S9 Plus has been used heavily and still performs quite well with very few hiccups. The battery still performs good as well with minor issues. At bottom line, this phone is very usable and I had no worries about the revisit to this phone. Many people are still using their S9 or the S9 Plus and are still happy with it. S9 Plus still performs great to this date. But the biggest thing I want to talk about in this revisit is about buying the S9 Plus or getting the S9 Plus now. Like, if you're in a market to buy a phone, would it still be a good option to consider the S9 Plus? I would say yes, why not? Not just because it performs great, but at this point you can find a new one at very low price, as Samsung keeps breaking the price of the previous flagships when a new one arrives. You can find a new one at very low price, around 40,000 in India and around $500 in other countries. And a second hand would cost even less. Remember, at this price you are getting a S series flagship from Samsung, so you get a large powerful premium device, and also coming from S8 it has a bigger, better battery and better fingerprint location and many more things. And when we look at the spec sheet, it is pretty loaded. It has a 6.2 inch display, 531 pixel per inch, 84.2% screen to body ratio, Corning Gorilla Glass 5, 6GB RAM, 64GB ROM, expandable up to 512GB, wireless charging, IP68 water resistant and dust resistance, video recording at 4K 60fps, Snapdragon 845 or Exynos 9810, 2.8 GHz octa-core processor, 3500 mAh battery and adaptive fast charging, what Samsung calls it, and many more features which are not listed in this list. It has a pretty good camera and it has a headphone jack. The camera has held up well, though it does not perform like the 2019 flagships, but still, if you give it a try, it gives out a solid results. With the price tag of S9 Plus currently, the new phones have proven to be better, but with few compromises. But with the S9 Plus, if you get a new one, you get yourself a phone for a price considered budget nowadays. Top out a lot of phones in this price tier. There are compromises with this phone too, and one of them being future software support from Samsung. Luckily, the S9 Plus will get the One UI 2.0 update and Android 10 update, and that's a real great good news. So if you have a S9 Plus now, I would say you don't need to upgrade at least till the next year or the next year's launch. And many would have come to the same conclusion too. So guys, what do you think about S9 Plus in the year 2019? Comment down below, like the video and subscribe my channel.